Hey everybody, it's Abby. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Today I'm filming this for the second time because something crazy happened, so I might tell you about that at the end if I remember. So I'm going to be talking about my vegan and cruelty-free foundation and concealer collection. Recently on Instagram I posted swatches of all of these on my arm so you can see comparisons if you are shopping around for a new brand, a new formula, or whatever. I know a lot of you have said that you are interested in growing cruelty-free, which is awesome. So hopefully this will help. If the colors matching doesn't really help, if you're a different color in the skin tone than me, then hopefully the formula explanations and reviews and stuff will be helpful. So the first one I'm going to talk about, just get it out of the way, is the Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo Foundation in the shade Light 44 Cool. This is definitely really cool. It's a really pink shade. I would use this up and not use it again because I don't support Kat Von Disease. So, yeah, I mean, this is, I like it, to be completely honest and not be biased because if I don't like the Kat Von D, it's a really good formula foundation. And yeah, the only thing that I don't like about it is that it destroys my my makeup sponges. It doesn't really wash out of them very well. But other than that, it's good. And I like the formula. I like that it dries down, it sets itself. Which also, I'll explain that really quick, what I like in a foundation. I like it to be, I don't like the ones that dry down like paint matte, but I want them to be pretty matte because I like caking on the powder and setting it and make sure it doesn't, because I hate like if you touch your face and it feels like sticky or like it feels dewy. I hate that feeling. So I prefer like matte to like not really satin finishes. Some satin is okay if it's like more on the matte side, or like natural finishes maybe. So this one is perfect for what I use it for. The only thing is vaccines. Then the second one I want to talk about is from Wet n Wild. It's their Photofocus foundation. This is probably my favorite foundation at the moment. I'm not going to say ever because that could change at any time. But I really like this one. I'm actually almost out of it. I'm in the shade Shell Ivory. And this is a really, really good color match for me. I know the swatches on my arm on the Instagram post don't exactly, they don't look like they match my skin at all. But my arm is a different color than my face. So, and also my arm doesn't have a bunch of redness to cover up. So I feel like I kind of err on the side of just a hair too dark with my foundations. And also like on the warm side because my skin is pretty neutral toned. It leans a little bit cool, but I prefer like neutral to warm foundations because they help like balance out the redness of like scars and stuff. So yeah, I really like this. It's talking about on the back like how it doesn't flash back. I never had that problem. I don't use flash photography. I don't foresee myself doing that anytime soon. So this one, a lot of people complain about the smell of this. It doesn't bother me. It goes away as soon as you apply it. So, and it does have a really weird applicator if you've never seen that. It's like a little spatula thing, which is, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's just not the most sanitary. I mean, if you want it to be more sanitary, don't apply it directly to your face. Just put it on the back of your hand. So, a few things I want to remember to talk about for each one. The last time I tried to film this, I forgot. So, the Kat Von D foundation, it has 1 fluid ounce, which is pretty normal for a foundation. And it has a really good shade range, not gonna lie. So if you're okay with the ethics of the brand, then it has a really good shade range. And then the Wet n Wild Photofocus also has 1 ounce, and it does have an okay shade range. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. And the problem with the range on this, it doesn't go that dark, but the problem is that the full shade range is not available everywhere. So, like when I bought this, I got it at Walgreens, and they only had maybe half, if not less than half, of the shades that Wet n Wild makes. But they do have the full range on their website, and I bought from there quite a few times, and they have pretty much everything on there, and they have I think it's $25 minimum for free shipping, so that's cheaper than a lot of other places. Second one I want to talk about is this e.l.f. I don't remember what this is called. I should have looked it up, but I forgot. I'll put it on the screen here when I find it. But I'm in the shade Light Ivory, and this is the one on my Instagram post that looks like yellow paint. So it's not, I don't know, I can kind of make it work with like bronzer and highlighter and everything. Like the The shade is okay, but the undertone is straight yellow. There's no neutral or pink about it. It's just yellow. And I mean, it's not the best foundation. I don't know. I've only used it a few times. The smell is weird. And it doesn't, then the smell of this one doesn't go away either. So, I don't know. And this one only has 0.68 fluid ounces, so that's about 2/3 of an ounce. And, which I don't expect that much for that brand is cheap. And, what else? Oh yeah, this has a really bad shade range. Next, another drugstore one is this Colourpop No Filter Foundation. This is supposed to be matte. It's not matte. It doesn't dry down like I like foundations to do. And if I cake powder on top of it, it just eats it up. So, yeah, this is not my favorite, but it's actually almost gone. I've only used it a few times, so I don't know why it's almost gone. And let's see how many ounces in this. It is 0.85, so it's a little bit more than the e.l.f. one, but it's not a full ounce. But this does have a lot of different shades. So if you like foundations that don't really dry down and have a more natural finish, then you might like this one. I just don't like it because my skin starts out dry during the day and then it gets oily throughout the day. So I feel like that's not really. But if you're dry all the time, or maybe if you don't get so oily throughout the day, maybe it's alright. But yeah, I would wear this if I don't have to wear it for like more than 8 or 10 hours, which is like to work. I work for 8 or 10 hours, so it's like if the foundation doesn't last that long, I'm not going to wear it. So I would wear this like if I'm filming or if I am just going somewhere real quick, like on my off day or to church or something. I forgot to mention, I'm going to forget a bunch of stuff, so I'll go back and forth, but the Colourpop one, I am in the shade Fair 30, and it is a really good color match. And the next one is also a drugstore. This is the NYX Total Control Drop Foundation. Also, this one, and I have one concealer that, not from NYX, and the concealer's not from NYX, but this one is. And they are cruelty-free, but they're owned by a parent company that is not cruelty-free. So if you care about that, then, don't get this one. But I got this before I cared about that. So this one is okay. This does have a really, really nice shade range. And a lot of NYX foundation products do now. And it's really, really thin, which is why it's called a drop foundation. You can mix this with other foundations to make them more pigmented and also to thin them out a little bit, which I kind of want to try out mixing foundations. I know a lot of people do that, and I haven't really. I just like to stick to ones that I know that I like. But I do like this one. The only thing is if you have dry patches, since it's so thin, it does kind of settle into dry patches, so you want to make sure to use like a hydrating primer or something beforehand. And yeah, it's okay. I wouldn't repurchase it because I don't support brands that are owned by parent companies that aren't cruelty-free, so, but it's okay. And I'm in the shade Porcelain 03, which is, I believe, the lightest shade, unless they have a white mixer. I don't know if they do or not, but this is the lightest, like, shade. And this has 0.43 fluid ounces, so that's less than half an ounce, but it's not a normal foundation, so. And then now for the one that ones that I'm wearing today, I bought this recently, and I am currently on a no-buy for this whole year, but I knew that these were going to be released before I started the no-buy, so I made an exception for myself to let myself buy them because I really wanted to try them. I love this brand. I love almost everything else that I've tried from this brand. And these are the Pacifica Alight Clean Foundation, oil-free, anti-shine, and satin finish. So I did, these again were on that color, that swatch thing I posted on Instagram. And first I bought the shade 37WL, which means warm light. And this was slightly too dark and a little bit too warm. So I thought I would use like a warm, like the description online said like warm neutral. So I thought maybe it wouldn't be too bad. But again, the reason why I like warmer ones is because I feel like they cancel out redness more. But this one is just a little bit too much. And I also picked up, because that was too dark, I thought I'd try a different shade. This is the shade 40NF, which means neutral fair. This one is way too light. There's no like a little bit, like it's way too light, which is still flabbergasts me to this day, because when I first started wearing makeup, like around high school, every foundation was just Oompa Loompa orange and too dark. So now that we have light foundations, I was like, no, there's no way this is going to be too light for me, because the range on this is pretty good. It's not the best ever, but it's not bad. And I was like, no, there's no way the lightest one is going to be too light, and it is too light. So I mixed the two today. I actually put the lighter one on all over, and it was like, whoa, like Flashback Mary. So I mixed the two and tried to reapply it. It got a little cakey, but I think it working now. Next time I'll just mix them straight off the bat. But this one is one of those that doesn't set, so it's not looking like it's going to be in my top favorites anytime soon. Which stinks because I really wanted to like it. I love Pacifica, and it's cheap and it's natural. Well, it's not cheap. I think this is like $16 a piece. And there's 0.9 ounces, which is just slightly less than an ounce, so it's not that bad of a deal. And I like that it comes in glass too. I don't like stuff plastic, which the top feels kind of cheap, but whatever. It doesn't really matter as long as it doesn't break. So if you're one of those people that doesn't have to set your foundation, then the Pacifica one might be for you. The last liquid foundation is this CoverFX Power Play foundation, and I am in the shade N20. CoverFX has one of the best foundation shade ranges that I've ever seen, so if you're having trouble finding a shade to match you, go try CoverFX. They have a few different formulas of foundation. I used to use their custom cover drops, and they're really nice. So I tried to use my custom cover drops shade to kind of find my shade in this, and it worked really well. And they actually have on their website, you can put in what shade you are in other foundations, and it'll show you which one that you would match with, which is nice. I wish all brands of foundation would do that, Pacifica. But I really like this one, and the only thing, it's kind of weird that it's in a dropper style bottle, but it's whatever. And this is probably one of my top favorite. I would say it's just under the Wet n Wild. Maybe like my top favorite is Wet n Wild, and then this one. And it's pretty similar performance-wise to the Wet n Wild one too. It lasts about the same time. It doesn't. It kind of sets, but not really. It's not sticky or anything, but it's not like super matte either. Oh, and this one, I told you I forget everything. This is 1.18 fluid ounces, so it has a lot more product. And then now I have two stick foundations. So I have the Colourpop No Filter stick in the shade Fair 30C, which I think is the same as Fair 30. It's the same shade as the liquid. And this one is my favorite of the two stick foundations that I have. It looks kind of funny, like a little bit patchy at first, but something with my skin chemistry, oils, or whatever, foundation will go on patchy sometimes, but then after a few, like half an hour to an hour, it looks perfectly fine. So, and that's what happens with this, and I blend it out pretty easily. I've been using there's a new, not Real Techniques, Eco Tools brush set that's like the round, I think it's called the 360, and it's specifically made for like stick products, and it works really really well with this, actually better than like a beauty blender would. So this one though, the stick foundations I noticed don't last as long as liquid foundations do sometimes, so I would only wear this on a short day. And again, Colourpop has an amazing shade range, and I can't really compare the amount in this to the other one, so I'll just compare it to this other one that I have. So this next one is the Anastasia stick foundation, and I'm in the shade Warm Ivory. This one is a really really good shade match. It's better probably than the Colourpop one. And the problem that I have with this one is that it's really stiff and it's hard to blend. But other than that, it's great shade range, and it lasts a little bit longer than the Colourpop one. And let's see. So the Anastasia one has 0.32 ounces, and this one has 0.34, so pretty much the same amount of product in each one. Obviously, the Colourpop one is significantly less expensive. And then also the like stick foundations and stuff, if you get a shade that's like too dark or on accident or something, then you can use it for contour. I know a lot of people use the Anastasia stick foundation in the shade Fawn, I think, to contour with. Oh, and the Anastasia one has a pretty good shade range too. And now on to concealer. Let's get the ones I don't like out of the way. This one is the Wet n Wild Illuminati Highlighting and Concealing Pen. So I'm just going to let you take a gander at this bad boy. It's in one of those lip gloss kind of tubes, and I've only used it 3 times, maybe 4, that's a stretch. But yeah, there's like no product in here, and it separates really bad, it looks bad, and there's only like 2 shades of it, so I don't know why I bought it. But I'm going to probably try to use it up and be done with it. If you must know, I'm in the shade Ivory Into You. Not that you have much of a choice. And then I have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Makeup Stick Concealer in the shade Follow Your Bisque. So this is basically a stick foundation, but a stick concealer. What can I just say? Stick concealer. This one, I don't like this one either. It doesn't blend out very well. It's kind of patchy. It looks kind of like you put on grease paint. So yeah, I don't particularly like this one. I also don't see myself using it up either. I don't know. That one also has a terrible shade range. There's like 3 colors. However, I'm going to end the crap on Wet n Wild parade because this Wet n Wild Photofocus concealer is great. It is I'm in the shade Light Ivory, and I really like this one. It's definitely up there with the higher end concealers. The only thing is this is the lightest shade and it's just a tad too dark. I like concealer to be just a little bit lighter than my foundation, but it's okay. It's about the same color as my foundation, so I can't complain too much. But there's not that many shades of this. There's maybe 6 or 7, so yeah. And there is, let me see how much product is in here, like compared to other ones if it's a lot. Oh, wait, I got some tea coming for you here pretty soon. Okay. So this actually has a lot of product compared to these other ones. I don't know how much is in this one though, it doesn't say. So out of all of the concealers that I have, this one has by far the most product in it. It's 0.29 ounces. And then the next one I want to talk about is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer in the shade Fair Warm. So Wet n Wild on the brain. Urban Decay is one of those brands that is cruelty-free, but owned by a parent company that's not cruelty-free, so if you're not okay with that, then ignore what I'm saying about it. This is the second one of these that I've used. I actually like this concealer. It's really thin and on the dry side, so it's not going to crease as much as your like standard creamy or concealer will. And I really like it. I like the shade and everything, and it lasts a long time. It does have a painty smell though, but it goes away when you like after you apply it. And this one has 0.16 ounces, so less than the Wet n Wild one. And the next one that I have is the Cover FX Power Play Concealer. This goes with the Power Play foundation. Oh wait, yeah, it does say that it's right on the front of the thing. Wow. But this is the Power Play Concealer. I'm in the shade In Fair 2. This one is lighter. It doesn't match the shade that I have in the foundation. This is lighter, which I like. And my only problem with this concealer, it comes in a bajillion shades again, and it's a really good formula, but the packaging is really weird. Like, Cover FX packaging is just not the best, but like the product is getting all up in here, and it's probably going to make a mess by like toward the middle/end of the product's life. And this has 0.33 ounces, which, wait a minute. Alight. So this Cover FX one has more product than the Wet n Wild, but they're pretty close. And then I have 4 shades of the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. So I bought, when they first came out, I bought 2 of them, which was Fair 4 and Fair 8. I didn't know what shade I was, but I really can't tell the difference between those 2 shades when I swatch them. So, yeah, I guess I'll just kind of use them interchangeably. And the thing I don't like about the Colourpop concealer is that it separates. You can see it pretty well on these, and I just mixed them up yesterday because I took that Instagram picture yesterday. And they're already separated, and their liquid lipsticks do that too, I don't know why. But this is an okay concealer. It's not my favorite. The only thing with this, I have to set it, like bake it immediately after I apply it, or else it's going to crease. But if I do bake it, then it's fine. And then after they expanded the shade range, I got this shade called Light 10, which is a much better match. It's just a tad darker than those other ones. And then I also got Fair 0, which is a white concealer, in case I want to do a cut crease, or if I want to mix with another concealer that's too dark or something. And these concealers have 0.176 ounces, so less than most of the other ones. And this one, I told you I was going to have some tea. This is the Ulta Beauty Full Coverage Liquid Concealer Waterproof. I'm in the shade Light Cool. This is the lightest shade, and it's pretty dark, but I still use it sometimes. And it has not that great of a shade range. I think there's maybe 8 shades. But there is very clearly not much product in here because, okay, you guys heard about that controversy going on like right now with, actually I'm posting this maybe a week after the drama's going on, but the Kat Von D tattoo liners, like the full-size one and the mini one, have the same size cartridge. Like, people are freaking out about that. But this is the same deal. So they have this pretty big around, like, wide tube here. But if you look really closely at it, there is a smaller part. There's a lot of space between the outside of the packaging and the inner part that holds the product. And this concealer has 0.08 fluid ounces, which is like a small fraction of the other ones. So this Ulta one's a bit of a ripoff, but it is very full coverage if you have a difficult spot. I would even dare say this will cover tattoos. I tried to cover mine, but since it's so dark, it doesn't really work that well. But if it matched your skin tone, I think it would. The last two, they're the most recent ones that I've got. They're the Pacifica Liquid Cover Full Coverage Lasting Concealer. I had to look because I just got them. So first I got the one in 18WL, and it's a little dark. It's not, I don't know. It's a little bit too dark for what I like to use concealer for, like under my eyes and stuff. So I might mix it with another one, like maybe that white from Colourpop. And then I bought, because I had to get a new shade of foundation, I went ahead and got a new shade of the concealer, and this is the shade 20NF. It's still a little dark, but it's not nearly as bad as the other one. So, but these are okay. I don't have any complaints about them yet. I've only tried them maybe a few times. So I will maybe let you know at some point. I don't know when, because I don't really do like more review type things than like this video. So how much product do these have? 0.26 ounces. So that's about, I think that's about the same as the Wet n Wild, yes. Oh, 0.29. So just like a hair less than the Wet n Wild ones. These are about average. And the Pacifica concealers have an okay range. I think they have maybe 10 shades. Not the best, but not the worst. So that's about it for this video. Let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions for vegan or cruelty-free foundations or concealers, let me know in the comments. I'm not going to buy any because I want to buy. But if anybody else is looking for suggestions, let them know, especially if you have a different skin type than me or like a different skin tone. I'd also like to hear, if you're a person of color, let me know if you, like, what your favorite cruelty-free foundation brands are, because I know it's like a lot of these don't have good shade ranges at all. I'm trying to use up the ones that I have and start using only ones that have good shade ranges. So I'm trying to think what else. Again, let me know if you have any questions about any of these, and also let me know if you want to see any other collection type videos where I talk about my products that I have. So make sure to follow me on Instagram at Azkaland, same way it's spelled here. Also, I forgot. So that drama that I was talking about, or like the crazy stuff that happened. So yesterday I was on my way to work about 2 o'clock, and I was like running late, and I was going down this back road that I take to get to work, duh, and I was crossing like around this bend, and then there's a little bridge that goes over a creek, and this dog was running around like literally in the middle of the road, like she was darting from one side to the other, and I was like, okay, what the heck is going on? And then I couldn't stop in time because it's a back road, so you have to get like 60 miles an hour. So I went up and turned around at like CVS or something, and I came back, and what did I say they? I came back, and the dog was there, and some other guy had pulled over in a big truck. I think he was like doing like a lawn care guy or something, and he had caught her. He lured her over with some Doritos and tried to get her out of the road, and we were like, what do we do? I don't know, maybe we should take her to the pound. Not the pound, they don't call it the pound anymore, the animal shelter. And she like ran off to the neighbor's yard, or like we were kind of pulled off on a side street, and there was a spot like beside of the road that your car would fit on, so we were over there out of the way. And he went over to the neighbor's house, or the people that lived by, right by there, and we're talking to that guy, and he's like was trying to catch her and stuff, trying to get her, and it was, which this is a pretty small dog, and she was pretty fast too. Like she was really shy, and she wouldn't come to anybody, and she was like looked like a beagle mix maybe. She was really light colored and had like the beagle looking ears, but I don't think she was fully a beagle. And so we're like wondering what to do, and she kind of got away, and the guy said he was going to catch her. He kept like running around in his yard and like out in the road. So he's like, oh, I'm going to try to catch her and, you know, see what I can do. And so I took a picture of her because the guy that I saw on the side of the road like was able to hold her for a little bit, but she got away from him. And I took a picture of her and posted it on this like lost and found pets thing on Facebook. And today I find out that people know who she is. She's was from this rescue nearby, and she was adopted out like last fall, and she got away from her like a new adopted owners, and she's been missing since the fall, and it's now March. So basically somebody else shared my post to another group that I wasn't a member of, so I couldn't comment on it, but I can read the comments on that post. And this lady was like, yeah, that was near my house. I caught her. She's in my backyard. I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like, I tried to message her and tried to see, like, try to connect the dots, because I knew where the dog was and I know where she's supposed to be, but I can't, like, connect the two together. So, it's been a long day. And I took my brother out to, like, try to find her before I figured out that she was in somebody's backyard. But that was crazy, and I spent hours like trying to figure that out and trying to like get a hold of the lady. And I was like, hey, does anybody know this lady? Because I can't just message somebody that you don't know and aren't friends with, don't have any mutual friends with on Facebook. So that was rough. But I'll put an update if I have one here, if the dog was like taken back to the rescue or not. So. Yeah, long day. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.